So I have mentioned before that I love musicals. I was raised on some of the classics like Music's Man and Sound of Music and West Side Story. And I have continued this tradition with my children. I have taken them to see Mamma Mia and Frozen. And I truly don't know how many times we have listened to the Wicked soundtrack after seeing the movie a few weeks ago. And I have always thought that I would absolutely have loved to be in musicals. I have the energy and the enthusiasm. Sadly, I do lack one skill that I'm told is important for being able to be in a musical. I have been told that the ability to actually really fully carry a tune might be important for doing this. So instead, I loudly and proudly sing along at home or in my car. And one of the musicals that we watched over and over again is the Jewish classic Fiddler on the Roof. We sang along with Tevye as he sung about the importance of tradition. We discovered his love for his wife, Golda, and we marked the passage of time with sunrises and sunsets. Yet the song that has been on my mind in recent weeks is the one sung by Motel, the tailor, when he is allowed to marry his beloved. As you know, he sings, "Wonder of wonder, miracle of miracles. God took a Daniel once again and stood by his side, and miracle of miracles walked him through the lion's den. Wonder of wonder, miracle of miracles. I was afraid that God would frown. Like he did so long ago at Jericho, God just made the wall fall down. When Moses softened Pharaoh's heart, that was a miracle. When God made the waters of the Red Sea part, that was a miracle too. But of all God's miracles, large and small, the most miraculous one of all is that out of a worthless lump of clay, God has made a man today. Wonder of wonder, miracle of miracles, God took a tailor by the hand, turned him around, and miracle of miracles led him to the promised land. When David slew Goliath, yes, that was a miracle. When God gave us manna in the wilderness, that was a miracle too. But of all of God's miracles, large and small, the most miraculous one of all is the one that I thought could never be. God has given you to me. So as you know in the scene, the characters are singing and dancing with joy, truly feeling that their somewhat unlikely ability to get married is a miracle. And at this time of year, we hear a lot about miracles because there are so many that are specifically associated with Hanukkah. For example, the small band of Jews who rose up against the Greek government to be able to practice Judaism as they saw fit. Or, of course, as we famously know, the small amount of oil that was supposed to last for one day but lasted for... Exactly. So with all of this focus on Hanukkah and miracles, it really got me thinking about what do we consider miracles today, and how do we acknowledge and appreciate them? So I looked it up, and according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, a miracle is defined as an extraordinary event manifesting divine intervention in human affairs, or an extremely outstanding or unusual event, thing, or accomplishment. The word miracle originates in Middle English, borrowed from Anglo-French, borrowed from late Latin, meaning something amazing or to marvel at or to look at with wonder. And what I find really interesting, too, is that our prayer book contains different ideas about what a miracle is. For example, on pages 264 and 65 in your prayer book, we have a special insert that focuses just on the miracles of Hanukkah. It begins with these words, Al hanisim ve'al ha'porkan ve'al ha'givorot. And it goes on from there, and this translates to, we thank you for the miracles for redemption, for the mighty deeds and saving acts brought about by you, for the wars which you waged for our ancestor at this time and days of old at this season. So these words focus on the miracles, these big miracles that happened during Hanukkah. and God's role in making them happen, including war. But the approach to miracles in the prayer book that I find more interesting and more compelling are the daily miracles, the Nisim V'Chol Yom, which are found on pages 80 through 84. We say the Nisim V'Chol Yom as part of our daily and Shabbat morning prayers. In these prayers, we thank God for our ability to distinguish day from night, for lifting up the fallen, for removing sleep from the eyes and slumber from the eyelids. These prayers continue thanking God for these daily things. And what I appreciate most about this Nisim V'Chol Yom, these daily miracles, is that these are things that we don't normally think about as miracles at all. But when we really take a moment to think about it and contemplate it, they really, truly are. For example, when we wake up in the morning and have the ability to recognize that it is day, that really is a miracle. This is something that we do all the time. We barely even notice it and take it for granted. But when we contemplate all of the things that happen exactly correctly, that for us to be able to wake up and know that it is in fact day, that truly is something to be celebrated and really is a miracle. And the same goes for the rest of the Nisim V'Chol Yom when we look at these other lines and apply the same type of thinking. Is it a miracle to have sleep removed from our eyes and slumber from our eyelids? This could just be thought of as part of our waking up process and not a miracle. Yet, if we have ever been metaphorically asleep and then all of a sudden finally wake up and have the ability to see something clearly, that truly can feel like a miracle. Or it really can feel like a miracle to be lifted up or to help somebody else be lifted. We don't normally acknowledge each of these little things as miracles, but I think that these prayers in Hanukkah is teaching us that they are in fact miracles. There is a famous quote that is often attributed to Albert Einstein that says, "There are two ways to live. You can either live as if nothing is a miracle, or you can live as if everything is a miracle." And I choose to think that Judaism wants us to choose to live as if everything is a miracle. So none of us are likely to see the miracles like the ones described in the text, like the oil lasting for the 8 days or the sea parting or us receiving the 10 commandments. But I do think that each one of us does see the miracles that are depicted in the Nisim V'Chol Yom, these daily miracles, if we look for them and we acknowledge them. It can be something as beautiful as the birth of a baby, a beautiful sunset, new medicines that save people's lives, and so much more. So we are being reminded by Hanukkah and these prayers that we can focus on these daily miracles in our lives, viewing them with awe and wonder and appreciation. So whatever comes our way in 2025, hopefully we will go through this year seeing, acknowledging, and experiencing these daily miracles. And if we are really lucky, really lucky, hopefully at some point in this year, we will feel so much joy at one of these miracles that we too will want to sing and dance. And perhaps we even will want to make up our own version of Motel song, repeating the words, "Wonder of wonder, miracle of miracles," truly appreciating the miracles in our lives. So in this year ahead, may we all have this ability to notice, appreciate, and feel the wonder of these daily miracles in our lives. Shabbat Shalom.